Let's cue it.
Play. Joel. Coming to you live on YouTube. 3, 2, 1. Game News Live.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Game News Live.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
What's up, everyone?
We're going to give you the game news, new releases, and remote control that we always do every week, 12 p.m.
Juicy.
Noon.
Hot and juicy.
Juicy.
Mm-hmm. Like our news was on like a roller in a convenience store, and we're going to put it in its bun and feed it to you.
And then give you condiments.
And then we're going to give you like little push button like chili and sauce to go on there.
Ooh.
And then be like, this is some really tasty game news, guys.
I promise you I did not put them up to this.
Don't forget the cheese.
Thank you, nerdjunkies.com. Can I get some Can I get some tortilla chips with that, please? All right.
The nachos.
Can I get some jalapenos?
Can I get some
The
jalapenos
boiled
on there?
peanuts.
Can I get...
So stupid.
Ooh, what's that? A free coffee? I'm down. Let's go. Yes.
What's up, Rompus? Thank you for joining us on Game News. We're just being stupid and having fun on this whole entire episode. So
Every episode?
Every episode. We just started. We usually start off with the game releases, but just to check up on everyone on this show, Clay, you know the usual question. What have you been playing this week?
This week, I am jumping between two games right now. I'm still going through Knights of the Old Republic 2 because that is a really long game.
Yeah.
I just finished Dantooine.
Mm-hmm.
The game opens up and it gives you like 4 planets to go to. So I went to Dantooine first. So I just cleared that out and I'm about to go to Nar Shaddaa, which is that's my next destination. I just landed on there and then I said it. NAR space SHADAA. But it's so I just landed on Nar Shaddaa and I'm like talking to people and stuff now. And then my copy of Hitman 3 came in, so I just started that this morning. And I'm playing.
I did see your status with Hitman 3. How you liking it?
Yeah, awesome. I mean, it's just a prettier version of Hitman 1 and 2, right? It's the same type of game. You know, it's a big playground. They give you like here's a big ass map and these 2 people are your targets and just go. And it's just open, like however you want to do it. It's the same Hitman that you played in Hitman 1 and 2. It's just they're continuing the same story, which is good because it kind of, they kind of cliffhanged at the end of Hitman 2.
Right.
Cliffhunged. Hanged.
We'll check it out.
Yeah.
In post.
Dictionary.com. No, it was but no, so far it's really good. Like the first level in the game is Dubai, which if you've looked at any of the trailers, like since they did their announcement, that's the same level that they're showing off the whole time, and it's awesome. Loving it so far. Thumbs up.
Right. Cool. Mel?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been playing any games lately because I've been mostly watching anime. Okay.
I should like spit take right there. She was just like, I haven't been playing any games. I was like, what? What?
How dare you not waste time with us? You know that's
I was hoping to play Phasmophobia with you guys, but that didn't happen.
Well, I actually did boot it up. But you know me, in hyper analyzing anything that I actually start playing is I have to know what my motivation is, and I have to know all the ins and outs. So I played the tutorial. And...
You're a ghost hunter.
Mm-hmm.
That's your motive. Find ghosts.
Right.
And
then all of a sudden, I was extremely scared, almost to the point where I needed. You know what? I just shut down the game. Because the audio started clipping, and I was just like, "This isn't 128 hertz. This isn't. This is disgusting." So I was just like, "No, this is gross." So I'm just gonna shut off the game, and it was just not worth it.
That is the most horrifying, terrifying use of audio I've ever experienced in a video game.
Yeah, it was gross. I mean, I thought I had to reformat my computer because I thought it was glitching. But I was like, no, it's the game, not me.
And we tried to get Clay to play, but it will not work on its computer, sadly.
My computer will.
Yeah, that's right.
My computer installed it and it launched it and it put me into the demo little world thing. But once I actually opened up like the main story, it was just like 4 frames a second, just like
it was very unplayable.
But then again, I do not have a gaming PC. I have a very standard like laptop that like your mom uses. You know, like it's a very
How
like
dare you?
like I check my Facebook and my pictures.
It's a Walmart laptop.
My mom has
Yeah.
a gaming
Right.
PC that I built her. How dare you?
How dare you? My mom's laptop can play Crysis.
Yeah, bro.
Not that she knows what that is, or she ever would.
No, she's mostly in Excel and Word.
it's Facebook, but it can
Farmville 2 for the win. 60 frames.
exactly
Got.
all that Candy Crush. No, mine is a very plain laptop because I do not PC game, so it's. But I was waiting for you all to play Phasmophobia so I could watch and be like, "Oh, this is what that game does." Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching some videos on it, some tutorials, and really understanding it with my whiteboard right next to me. I was like,
Chalkboard, they have
Yeah.
these little pins.
but I was just
And then,
like, I don't know
and
if
then, like on your whiteboard, it's just like a cartoony looking ghost, and that's it. And you're like,
it's just a Pac-Man ghost.
yeah, just like Blinky. That's it. And you're just like,
Yes.
All right. Well, we're gonna get on with the game releases because we know you want to know what's coming out this week.
everybody wants to know.
It's a lot of AAA games this week.
Okay, super. I mean, these are quadruple A games.
Quadruple
Okay.
A. Holy crap! Welcome
Yeah.
back to Turrican. Turrican flashback. Is this is a pack,
Turrican.
right?
Turrican is. I saw the announcement for this like a couple months ago, and I was. This is one of those things where it's like, okay, Turrican was big in Europe in the 90s, and like maybe like late 80s kind of stuff, but it's like it never really took off here in the West. And it was on a bunch of things. It was on like Genesis and the NES and the Super Nintendo. The TurboGrafx 16 had a game. I've actually played it like even back then. Like I had a TurboGrafx back in the 90s, and I actually played Turrican on that. That was my first experience with it. And it's a side-scrolling shooter game, and it's not bad by any means. Like I would never put down the series or anything like that. But when I saw this collection, I was like, does the world really need more Turrican? Like. Maybe I don't know. Like
you know what it's for. It's for the nostalgia, bro.
It is, but it's also like I'm wondering if there's just some this a giant group of Turrican nuts from Europe, like somewhere in England or Germany or something, and they're just like
There could be a fan base for it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, to me, it's like these were never bad games by any means. But when I saw this, it was just so confusing to me. I was like, wow, like I completely forgot Turrican existed until just now.
Do you ever wonder why it didn't hit so well in the U.S. or it was just like one of those release things and region lock things?
Couldn't. Well, no, I mean the region lock wouldn't matter because it was released on U.S. consoles, but I think maybe it was just overshadowed because it wasn't a known name. So like Super Turrican or Mega Turrican or whatever comes out over in the States, but at that point people are already playing the new, Super Contra or Contra 3: The Alien Wars or like just other bigger named franchises for America.
Right.
Right now, I wanted to throw it in there just in case there was somebody out there who was like, "What? Turrican Collection?
Yeah.
Like, shut up and take my money."
Yeah, it looks like the release date on this one is the 29th, so in about a week, you'll be able to pick it up for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. It comes with looks like Turrican 2, The Final Fight, which obviously wasn't the Final Fight. Mega Turrican, Super Turrican. Yeah, so this is
and Ultra Mega Man.
It reminds me a lot of what's that side scroller arcade game? What's that one that was a little bit more animated and a little bit more light humor?
Oh, like a Metal Slug?
Metal Slug. It reminds me of Metal Slug. Maybe not in the art style. This whole thing reminds me more of Mega Man as far as the art style.
Mega Man art style. To me, it's like another Contra type game.
Yeah. It looks cool though. I mean, I'd definitely play it. I know a couple people who would play this for sure.
Nothing against the franchise itself. It is a fun series. It's from what I remember from way back then, it was really hard. So Like maybe there's just an audience for it. Like I have seen like speed runs of it, like during games done quick events and stuff like that. So I know there is an audience for it. I just it's I would imagine if you went to speedrun.com and looked up like Turrican speedruns or times, it's probably not that big of a board.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other one that we got here is actually, I wanted to touch up on a point.
Mhm.
Something that I realized after picking up a lot of these refresh, like for your PC or for your latest console kind of games for the retro stuff, I started to realize how hard some of these games were back then.
Yeah.
And then trying to remember back then, it wasn't really that hard to me. So is it just that I'm getting older and my reflexes aren't as fast? Or is it somebody else's fault that I can pin it on? You know what I mean? Like,
it's the government.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Obama. No, it's
But seriously, like I've been picking
games,
up like some retro games, and it's just like
games from the 80s were punishingly mean. Now, like nowadays, you have like your Souls series. Like people say like like Demon Souls that just came out. It's like, oh, these games are so hard and everything like that, and they are. I'm not saying they're not. It's just games back then were everything was permadeath. Like everything was a one-hit kill, and you get one life, and then the game starts over. Like Silver Surfer, like play that on the NES. It's a one-hit kill, and it's like a bullet hell. Okay, it's like good luck.
Yeah, I think only like what was that game? 1944, the airplane game.
Well, there was 1942 and 43.
Oh yeah. So I remember playing those games, and those games were brutal. Those were the games that
they were, but those were also designed to
be.
Yeah, but those games were also designed to be quarter munchers for the arcade.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like,
because every single time I tried to like analyze it and whatnot, I was just like, wait a second, there's no way you can make it through this game on one quarter. No way.
Oh, there are people who can do that.
Wow. Yeah.
It's just that it takes a lot of practice.
But I need a paycheck. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I need to work.
Exactly.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be released out. Let me see. Let me take a look. What's the release date on this one? The Medium.
It's next week also. Yeah.
This one's next week?
Yeah.
This one looks amazing.
This is a horror game from Bloober Team that is this one has a lot of eyes behind it right now because it's an Xbox and PC exclusive. It's not going to be coming to Sony.
Oh.
It looks like the original trailer for this that came out. It was either, I think it was a year ago at E3, and it was just one of those just weird horror game trailers where you're just like, I don't even know what's happening right now. But when they actually showed off gameplay, it looks really cool. It's like your character. I don't know anything about the series, like the story or anything like that. But it's like,
is this based off of something else?
I have no idea. Like I said, I don't know anything about this except when I first saw the trailer, I was like, that's really weird. And then when I saw some gameplay of it, I was like, oh, that looks like this gameplay mechanic of you control the same person through like two different areas. I don't know if it's time periods or if it's like a regular world versus like a Silent Hill kind of world. But it's like you kind of interact with two worlds at the same time. And I was like, it looks really cool. It is coming to Game Pass. So if you are an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber or a PC Game Pass person,
just get it.
You'll be able to get it on that.
Oh, that's cool.
Hopefully anybody who's here or is in a, in our chat or whatever, if you're a PC gamer, you should have Game Pass anyway, because it's just an amazing deal.
Right now it's still $9.99, right? Or is it $14?
It's for Ultimate, it's $14, but if you just want PC, it's $9.99.
And remember a while ago, a couple of years ago, they were talking about how we should have like a Netflix for games. Game Pass is pretty much that. That's
Game
what
Pass.
that is now.
Yeah.
Because the game titles that I would have thought would not be available on the games for Netflix kind of thing are. Even like newer releases that I was just like, whoa, wait, what's going on now? Like I can play this. So, yeah, it's definitely a benefit for games.
Yeah, you see this
on PC and Xbox.
The shot here where it's like two worlds, but like the same control. It's like I said, it looks really cool. I'm excited to check it out, and by that I mean have like somebody play it for me while I sit in the background, hidden under a cover or something like that. It's
I see what you mean.
Because
it looks concept.
It looks spoopy.
You want to give that controller to your wife and just let her play this?
You're like, hey babe,
Make her suffer through it.
If nobody knows in the chats or in the comments, Clay is deathly afraid of horror games. So much so that his camera is glitching out right now, and the ring girl is about to come
Oh
out.
crap! I didn't even see that. Here, hold on. Let me kill it.
Yeah, that's
And
so
then bring it
weird,
back.
man.
It's always, I think it has to be OBS. It's like,
This never happened when we were using Discord, so it's
No.
like
Yeah, but Discord always messed me up.
My name's Joe.
Shut up.
all right. I'm just gonna be
glitchy man.
hot fuzz for a while. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there
All
we
right.
go.
The next one
Yeah.
out, Cyber Shadow. Cyber Shadow is out $14.99 on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. But I don't,
this
I
looks
don't have
awesome.
a date here.
I want to say it's next. I want to say it's the 28th. Clay's Camp's the new Cyberpunk update. Yes, I'm running Cyberpunk 1.1 on my webcam. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Cyber Shadow. This is Yacht Club, the guys the team I'll say who did Shovel Knight, and so this is their new game, and it's this 2D like side-scrolling action game. This game looks awesome, and
It does look awesome.
I was already excited for this game. Also coming to Game Pass. And I was like, yes.
There you go.
I was like, oh, I'm so excited for this now.
I'm gonna do a meme of Clay with the girlfriend and looking back at the other chick that's walking.
Oh
by.
yeah,
it's gonna be GameFly on his arm, but Game Pass on walking by. Ooh.
I love GameFly. GameFly is great. No complaints.
That's the one you.
I got my
home.
disc-based rental games, and I've got my digital rental games now. I've got the best of both worlds. It's like this is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cyber Shadow. This game just looks cool, and I'm very excited to play.
It looks hard.
It does look hard, and so it's.
Dude, it's
we'll
definitely taking Ninja Gaiden notes here.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden, Contra. It's like I don't know. Like I'm just. When they first showed this off like a few months ago, I was just like, ooh. It's like, ooh, that's right up my alley.
Somebody in the development team really loved Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, I mean, Yacht Club, like I said, they did Shovel Knight, which was very retro-y, side-scrolling action. I actually haven't gone through all of that game yet. I played just like the first world of levels, and I loved it. Like from what I played on it, it was really fun. I do need to pick that up and go through it again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So this one's out soon, $14.99 on all the consoles except for, well, it might be out on the newer consoles because it only shows PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. So
yes.
Either way, I'm pretty sure they're going to make it onto the latest consoles.
Yes, but like I said, Xbox it'll be backwards compatible anyway, and Sony's 99% of games work on the PS5. This will easily work on both the PS5 and the Series X. But just a reminder, it is on Game Pass. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber, next week.
True story. All right, let's move on to our next one, which I know Clay is probably going to buy 18 different copies of this whole thing.
So this was an honorable mention right here. Okay, like. Just because I'm absolutely addicted and in love with this franchise. This is the Yakuza Remastered Collection 3, 4, and 5. This was released already on the PS4 last year, and it was awesome. I've already went through all three of them. They're great. It is now releasing on Xbox and PC for the first time, which means all you PC gamers out there are going to get your juicy 60 frames.
Of course.
Which I think all the speedrunners of the Yakuza series are really looking forward to that, so they get their faster frame rates.
Yeah.
It'll also be on Game Pass. So this is as of next week when this launches, you will now have Yakuza 0, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, 3, 4, 5, all on Game Pass, all on PC, on Steam, on Xbox, whatever you want. Yakuza 6 is the last one remaining at this point. That comes out in March.
And what does this come out?
Next week.
And it's going to be on Game Pass as well?
Yeah.
Now maybe it's only because I'm curious because I'm one of my favorite games was Shenmue, and I didn't.
I love Shenmue.
Like Shenmue 1 was great because it just gave me like that whole new, like continuous feel of a story.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing here that a lot of the characters here continue on from every single Yakuza, and there's some progression even in their profiles. Like this guy right here with the coat has long hair on this one, and all of a sudden doesn't over here. So now I'm
because it's the same guy.
I'm intrigued. What happened?
He got a haircut. So
damn it!
That's good.
Spoilers. No, so the guy right in front here, like on 3, he is, he's like looking up and everything like that, and he's, he has the gray coat with the red shirt. That's Kiryu. He's your main character through the entire series. So he's like the top guy. Right. I would tell everybody these all follow a story. So like you would want to start with 0, which is on Game Pass. Yakuza 0. Start there, and then play Kiwami 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I feel like he's talking to me.
They all, and then if you want to go like, they also, then Yakuza Like a Dragon that just came out earlier this year. Technically, that's Yakuza 7. Now it is a new story, a new protagonist, everything like that, but it does call back to this series.
It's kind of like the MCU, right? Where all of a sudden, like certain movies will talk about certain other movies.
Yeah, like they do acknowledge events and people from the original series. You don't need to know everything about Yakuza to get Like a Dragon and go through that. It's just every now and then something will happen, and you're going to be like, "What?"
Yeah. I wish GTA would do that a lot more across all their titles.
I do too, man. I think that, so when 4 came out, they basically said, like, everything in the past is the past. Like they kind of rebooted the series when 4 came out. And the only Easter eggs you get from 4 from a previous, like 3 Vice City San Andreas are like names of cities or radio DJs. So like Laszlo and Fernando Martinez are both in 4, but they don't acknowledge anything from like any of the games. It's just like, hey, we're here and we're doing radio DJ stuff.
Right.
Yeah. But 5 acknowledges 4 because they're both in the same, universe kind of thing.
Right. Now it's Mel, see?
Oh no.
It was Mel. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was crazy.
See?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Kool-Aid Man. Okay.
But yeah, no, Yakuza, like I said, that was just an honorable mention because I absolutely adore this series. And now PC gamers can fully get almost all of them up until 6, which is in March. But these games are pretty long, and it'll take you a while to get all the way caught up. Rompus says, I'm a gamer, Miley Cyrus. I don't know what that means. I'm Hannah Montana.
You're two-faced?
The best of both worlds?
I don't play Wrecking Ball in Overwatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
If I tank, I'm a Reinhardt main, so I don't know what that means.
Anyways.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some rumor control. This one is coming in for Valve and our Lord and Savior, Gabe. PCMR Lord and Savior, Gabe Newells.
So this article is basically an interview that this website made or did with Gabe and his, locks and his beard, because he looks totally different now. just wind out of nowhere,
Yes, just with his fist like this, just
he said like the whole thing is basically, and this article actually covers the backstory, but if you're like a follower of Valve or PC gaming, you already know this, but he basically moved to New Zealand. He was there when the pandemic and lockdowns came out and everything like that, so he decided to stay. He was like, New Zealand's pretty cool when it comes to the pandemic because everybody's actually safe and we're good. So I'm just going to live here for a while. He's talking about moving in
some logic in there. Yeah.
Yeah. like hanging out in the Shire, like, the Horn of Gondor, all that stuff, so this whole article is pretty interesting, but yeah, he wants to like move esports into New Zealand and build a stadium and all that stuff. And it's like, whoa, slow down there, dude. Like people have to travel, But on this, they the interviewer is asking questions like, "Hey, so is Valve ever going to make a game ever again?" Which is a valid question.
I mean, come on, that's what
yeah.
they do, right?
They at one point they were a game developer. So and like Half-Life Alyx just came out, and I hear it's great. I haven't played it. But when they were asked about single player games like that, Gabe basically says that. Actually, I have the quote right here. Alex was great to be back doing single player games. That created a lot of momentum inside of the company to do more of that. So it's like, yes, please.
So
yes.
let me get this straight. They had to get the itch internally, but not from the outside, not from everybody else.
Not
like
everybody on Earth saying, "Dear God, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 2, Episode 3, Portal 3, Left 4 Dead 3,
Left 4 Dead 3,
Dota 3." Like literally anything. Can I get literally anything?
Yeah.
And then
I almost imagine World War Z zombies trying to climb the offices of Steam, just like, please,
just give us something. So yeah, apparently Alex, they had fun making Alex, so they're possibly looking forward to more games.
Yeah.
That's good. Like, oh yeah, the Nitzel here. Yeah, good for them though. The main, so many dev shops get in trouble due to outside pressure. Yeah. Valve gives no Fs when it comes to outside pressure. Like, they are making so much money off of Dota and Steam
but if you really think about it, though,
yeah,
they're our last hope. CD Projekt Red's gone. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
yeah, it's just, this whole
Blizzard
thing
is like, sold out. It has been a sellout for a while. Like,
Blizzard was kind of forced into a bad position, I think. When Vivendi Universal and Activision merged, that took Blizzard with it. And so Blizzard, like, that was outside of their control. So it has since put their reputation into the dirt, but, it's like...
Look at what's happening to Bungie, which we'll talk about in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Bungie's trying. Like... When they broke away from their deal with Activision,
they were super happy about that.
They're trying to make it like their lives better.
Yeah,
but they're still making crappy games. But whatever. So
that old time Halo formula didn't pan out through the later 2020s, huh?
Still a very slow shooter.
It's not that slow.
Okay. Yes. But no, Valve, keep making games. Hopefully you will not make VR exclusive games anymore.
You know what? I thought that was possibly like a push, because remember what Gabe said a while back regarding Half-Life 3 is that whenever there is a medium that enhances immersion, and that's where I spoke out last time, was like, I call it right now that VR is going to be something that they're going to be looking into. And then lo and behold, Alex came out, and I was just like, they're going to want to have some crazy immersion with Half-Life titles. And I think that's what they're pushing for, and they're just waiting for the technology to catch up for their games to just be the killer app that pushes the majority of the population to just accept VR, at that point. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of sad, though, because VR is still pretty expensive, even when you're just like doing consoles. Now you have to do an expense for even the console versions of VR. It's like, that might come after this whole thing, and it might be a little bit easier to adopt a game. I really don't want, if they mean to make a game for VR, I don't want to play like the non-VR version that was cut down for consoles or PC or whatever. I'd rather play it as the way that he intended it. Yeah.
Oh, I get that. But it's like, and a buddy of mine actually has a gaming PC and a VR set. He has Alex. He's already been through it. He loves it. And it's just one of those things where at some point I'm probably just going to go to his house and do it myself, just to be like, hey man, like I'm going to steal your computer for a few hours and just play this. And he'll be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I hear it's great. I hear Alex is awesome.
Yeah. So the Nitz will ask here, have you guys played Alex like at all? I have not. I've only watched it because I don't have a VR headset, or else I'd play the crap out of that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Nitzel, I still want that VR headset that you have, just in case.
Ben has played it, and he says it is a great game. He enjoys it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
What's up,
everyone
BK?
I know who has played it, BK. Yeah, everyone I know who has played it has loved it.
Mhm.
And so, and which I have no doubt. I mean, like Valve knows what they're doing with video games. Like, I'm not one of those people who says Half-Life is like one of the greatest shooters of all time, but it's a very good game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very high quality game.
Half-Life
like,
is
Valve
like
knows what they're doing.
Half-Life is like the memorable game that you
Yeah.
think of when you think of decades, right? Like,
Mhm.
damn, 1995, 96, Half-Life, boom. Like it was mashed together with a whole bunch of crazy, awesome games like Quake 3 Arena and Unreal Tournament that you
I thought
just
Half-Life
knew.
was like 2000 or something like that.
Was it 2000? I
It-
could have sworn
it was in the
95.
90s. It was 90s at least, because the 2000s they were
might be
making
97.
Half-Life 2.
I could be off.
Let me go check here.
I just remember reading magazines. Like, I don't think it was PC Gamer. I think it was something else. Maximum PC. or something like that.
98.
98,
There
okay.
you go. So I remember reading like a little article, which now it's just super funny. Remember in the intro levels of Half-Life where some guard was getting or receiving or whatever was admitting CPR onto like a scientist or something like that. And then the article literally states Valve is making a game that makes it so realistic that, you know, things make decisions. AI makes decisions about whether something lives or dies. And I'm like, no, that's still a scripted thing.
No,
Yeah.
it happens 100% of the time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was just crazy because it was just like, it was one of the first games where you had like some voice, like mouth motions and separated mitten hands where they actually had like thumbs and maybe like an index finger.
yeah.
But it was just like, wow, this is amazing. And then I remember like Team Fortress 2 where they had like that whole voice thing where proximity voice. And it was just like, those were the kind of things, the experiences that I was most into. And it was just so memorable to me that I was just like, yes, Half-Life is one of those games that pushed the envelope back then.
Mhm.
But now it's just like, you play the game, it's just like, this looks like butt.
Not unless you play Black Mesa. I know that was a mod, but still.
Yeah. That was really good. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, Gabe Newell is thinking about putting esports. What is it, like a building or something like that? Some sort of
Like a stadium. Or something, yeah.
stadium in New Zealand and possibly moving. Is he talking about moving the entire thing over?
No, not yet. Like I don't think Valve would just close and move to New Zealand. It's but it's apparently he really likes it there, so he wants more stuff there. Which cool, good for them.
I mean, unless there's some sort of tax exemption in New Zealand that is just like beneficial. I just don't see
I mean, there
Maybe-
could be a Valve.
Maybe yeah, like a tax shelter. Like maybe he's gonna get just like a stupid deal on everything because of that.
Who knows? But just
You know.
because I like the trees in the Hobbit town, it's not really
All the-
there.
Eh,
All the llamas bread he can eat.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move.
I know
on
there's
to
some Lord of the
next
Rings nerds out there who just got that. All right.
yeah.
one. Yeah.
The lamb bread and all that. Yeah,
We,
yeah.
we
Lamb
don't come
bread,
out publicly
lamb
like
bread.
that, Clay. We stick to the Shire. We just tone it down a bit.
Hobbits.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Sources: Capcom has overhauled its plans for Resident Evil 4 remake.
Yes. So,
All
okay. Now, keep in mind, Capcom hasn't even announced this game yet. Okay, which is why this is still in rumor control territory. This game hasn't even been officially announced. It's kind of just been like a really poorly kept secret for the past few years. What's going on here is this article just came out like this morning too. So I was like, oh, like, holy crap, let me add this in real quick. This is really cool.
Mhm.
So Capcom has one of their little side, teams. They're called M2, and M2 is former Platinum developers. And so they were one of the people or one of the teams who created the Resident Evil 3 remake that came out last year. And supposedly they're already working on Resident Evil 4. And the way this article is structured here, the whole story is M2, when they made Resident Evil 3 Remake, which came out last year, it was a good game, but it was really different from the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. For anybody who's played both, there was a lot of differences. There was entire sections of the game that were cut out, things in a new direction. There was a lot of backlash on that game. It was a solid game, but they were like, hey, why is this different? Why is this missing? What's all that stuff? Apparently, they took that a little too close to heart, according to this article, and decided to just kind of remake Resident Evil 4 the exact same game, just prettier. And so no differences, nothing. So Capcom
remaster.
Yeah, so Capcom basically came in. I was going to say swooped in, swooped. Capcom, like swooped in and basically were upset with this and said, and basically backburnered that team. They said, okay, the main Resident Evil team is now working on this. You guys are just going to help them. And because Capcom, the way, according to this article, what they're envisioning is kind of a refresh of Resident Evil 4. Like, they want new things to be put into the game. Like, they don't want a one-to-one translation. They want a new way of looking at it. Like, the same story. Maybe it's Leon Kennedy saving the president's
with all the
daughter.
other Resident Evils? They're just redoing certain things and just adding just things that you can remember from the old games. Like, it's
Kinda,
not the same.
yeah. They're not the same. Like, so Resident Evil 2's remake was pretty faithful to the original. They changed some of the story elements around. They kind of took away the entire purpose of an A and B scenario because it's like the same either way, and it doesn't really make sense on a timeline. But it was still a really good game, and apparently they want to do something new with Resident Evil 4. There's a line in here in this article. It is believed that the disagreements that led to M2's, by the way, this is on videogameschronicle.com, that disagreements that led to M2's reduced role involved the studio's desire to stick faithfully to the template of Resident Evil 4, partly influenced by the backlash to Resident Evil 3's remake, which did not include significant portions of the original game. Capcom's production team is said to prefer a direction which would see Resident Evil 4 remakes inspired by the original, but with its own unique take on features. Which I get that. So Capcom doesn't want to just
Resident Evil 4's downfall wasn't the fact that they was different than Resident Evil 3. It was the fact that it was just so much shorter and didn't include the entire game for where you left off with.
Yeah. So, or Resident Evil 3's. Yeah. So like their thing, it was just a really short game, and they didn't, like I said, there were sections of the game that weren't there, and which was kind of confusing. Like, they released it a year after Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, and it was a much shorter game. And there were entire sections of the original Nemesis that weren't in the game. And it was like, you could have probably delayed that game another year and included everything into it.
Yeah, because I remember watching it and I was like, wait a second, there are sections that you used to be able to walk through that you can't now.
So, for instance, in Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, the clock tower is a whole section of the game. And it's not there in the remake. And it's like, yeah. But apparently Capcom wants to, like, not just do an HD remaster or a 4K remaster of Resident Evil 4. They want to do, like, a whole new type of game and just tie in elements of Resident Evil 4 into it. They own it. It's their call. It's whatever they want to do. But this is like, so this is why Resident Evil 4's hypothetical, rumor remake is now going to be delayed to 2022.
Well,
it's okay.
We go right back to the old
make
quote.
It a better game. Delayed all you want, just make it a better game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All right, let's go on to the next one. This one's with Cyberpunk, the new patch that was released. Not exactly sure how it's rumor control. Clay, you got this one?
Yeah. See you, Nitzel.
Later, Nitzel.
The reason I put this one into rumor control is if you read the article here, it says, this is from Kotaku. Cyberpunk's 2027's latest patch reportedly added a game-breaking bug. So this is the new patch that just came out. It's version 1.1. I have still yet to play Cyberpunk 2077, so I don't really know how much this is going to fix. Apparently, this one is just bug fixes, and they're trying to eliminate some game-breaking bugs. But according to this article, they've already introduced a new one. And so these deal with specific missions. Like there's one here that's called Down on the Street, where there is basically a soft lock in that mission beforehand where you're waiting on a phone call that never appears. And so in this new patch, apparently they fixed that, but then they added another bug into the same mission that also makes it so the mission can't be completed and you're stuck. This article also, if anybody wants to keep that link, or just go to Kotaku and search 20 or Cyberpunk news. They have a couple workarounds in there. Like people have already experienced this bug, but they've already found a way to fix it. But all that being said, the game is still not ready.
Dude, this is MMO
Don't even
levels
play it.
of bugs here.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold off until 2.1 comes out. Like, because right now we're at 1.1. Well, I think 1.2 comes out next month.
Yeah,
that's probably going to break some more things.
They released like a time plan or something like that. How they were going to release all these patches. But damn, dude, like, it's almost
the
like
game is not
patches. Ready. You fix one thing and then you just break something else.
Yeah, the game isn't ready yet. Just wait. For anybody out there who just has to play Cyberpunk, there's other Cyberpunk games out there. Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, let's get on to the game news. First, we're going to start off with CD Projekt Red with the current report that they're posting up right here on their main website.
So just to tie both these articles together, speaking of Cyberpunk and its, disaster that's been going on with it, we can breeze right through this story. They got hit with another class action lawsuit from investors, this time in America. So the one they already had is already there. They now have the Polish government looking into their company to make sure they didn't defraud investors, and now they have a second class action lawsuit. This is on their own website. This is their regulatory website where they have to announce things like this, like publicly. So yeah, the company's in trouble. Oops.
Surprise.
We're sorry.
Dude, you give that guy so much crap and I feel bad for
I'm sorry. I'm saying it's the first thing I thought of. If you see that South Park with I want to say it's BP or something like that. It's somebody who's just destroying Earth, and every time they do something big, it's just we're sorry.
All right.
First thing I think of every time.
Yeah. Let's go to another disaster in gaming. Let's go to Destiny 2 community not liking the sunsetting content.
So, okay. I am not even going to pretend I am a Destiny follower or fan or anything like this. I saw this article creep up in my newsfeed from Destructoid, and it links to a Reddit post where all this is kind of going out there. So if you want, just go to the Destiny subreddit. You'll probably see it. And so I have a buddy of mine who is my Destiny resource. So I called him last night to kind of explain this to me, because I was like, I don't know what this article means. Can you help me, whatever. And he was like, all right, bro, here we go. So Joel, you used to play Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you still?
For this exact same reason, I don't. Because the content has gotten pretty stupid.
Yeah, so, and me and Mel were talking about this before the show, but from what I took of it, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the way it was explained to me, sunsetting in Destiny 2, you get a weapon, you have this brand new shotgun that you really love, and you can, as you level, as you increase your power level, you can increase the gun's power level, by infusing it.
Right. You
infuse it, and then that gun is I'm just going to put numbers out here. That gun's a level 20, and you infuse it, and it's now a level 30.
Right.
In order to Bungie's decision, in order to make it so you're actually not just sticking to the same gun the entire game and getting bored, they have now power capped everything. So they said that shotgun that you love can only go up to level 30, and you can't infuse it anymore. It is frozen at level 30. You can now be level 40, and that gun is still level 30. And that's called sunsetting. And I was like, oh yeah, that kind of sucks, but whatever. But
yeah,
so
you used to be able to do however you want. So if you got if you had a pretty legendary weapon, and let's just say at a certain season it wasn't viable, but you kept it because later on was going to be even better if you just got some crappy weapons that were just higher light levels, and then you just infused it with this nice weapon, you would be able to do that, and all of a sudden that gun became very relevant into later seasons, which could also include some balancing problems. So I
Yeah.
feel like this is a way for them to do away with the balancing and only introduce certain guns in certain seasons that they have already balanced instead of being caught off guard, having to balance every single weapon for every season.
Yeah. So on top of that, one of the things that I was told yesterday by the Uber House is like, yeah, that's disappointing to hear. Yeah, from what I hear, or from what I was told, this actually started like last year. This is like last or like early last year or something like that. But one of the other like sticking points here is you have that shotgun. We're going to call it Boomstick. You have Boomstick and it's power capped at level 30. Season 1 ends, you're in season 2. You've now thrown away Boomstick and you have like some new revolver that you really like. We're going to call it Ocelot just because. Ocelot goes up to level 50 and you're like, boom, level 50. This gun's cool. It works. But man, I really love Boomstick. Season 3 comes out. They'll reintroduce Boomstick at level 50 and say, you can now regrind to go get Boomstick again. So you're basically dumping tons of more hours grinding for the same gun, just at a different power level. So now you'll have
to unlock a base power level for that season.
Yeah, for the same gun that you had to throw away previously. So now you have to regrind again to get a level 50 Boomstick, which will then power cap at like level 70.
Yeah.
Thus, it's like, so basics. Yeah. So like I said, this article kind of tries to paint the picture here, but that subreddit, I mean, they get into crazy details. And that's why I was like, I need an explanation on all this. No, it sounds crappy, man. Like
so even if you look at it,
you put hours in grinding, and then you just do it again for the same gun, just so you can have it again.
And even if you look at it from like how are we gonna make money off of a free to play game, right? Obviously, seasons and all the cosmetic stuff are all in there, but then this really much goes to show you that the fun factor of it all isn't something that they're really looking at anymore, and more or less towards the addicting value of you having something that if you have it, now you can say, look at my Pokemans.
Yeah.
Right? Which is what they're betting on, because it is meant to be more of an addictive game if you're not paying for it. But if you pay for it, they'll give you some of those things right off the bat. Every season, there's always like, hey, we'll give you the one of the exclusive guns that you would be grinding for out of the 8 exclusive gun types that you normally get if you have to grind for them. It's just like, but how fun is that? Because
I think it really cuts away from, so like one of the things that Destiny always tried to put its strength on is customization. Mm-hmm. What if Boomstick is your favorite gun and you never want to use another gun? And like Bungie doesn't like that because they want you grinding, they want you paying and all that stuff. But as far as customization, like this is the perfect version of you. Like my Warlock with this Boomstick or whatever, like that's exactly how I want to play this game. And now you're not letting me.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure Bungie takes on the success of most MMORPGs that if you take a look at World of Warcraft, you're not going to always stick with the same weapon. Every single time that there's an expansion, there's always going to be like that, man, I grinded 1,000 hours for this weapon. And that was usually the downfall of World of Warcraft, is that I only got to Burning Crusades, but it was a grind fest then. If I have a weapon that I was just like, oh man, this is a gray, but it's still better than my purple that I just grinded 1,000 hours for, it's like, okay, I'm going to go do real life things.
That I was in the same boat. After Burning Crusade, I quit WoW. And that was, I remember that angered me so much because I was in a raiding guild during vanilla WoW, and I had like tier 2 and 3 gear on my priest. And and then the gates open and you go to Burning Crusade and like you do your very first like go kill 10 warthog mission. And it's like, I just got like a green headpiece that's better than the purple that I grinded like months for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
and so the only mechanic going back to Destiny, the only mechanic that kind of saved that was infusion, because you could still carry your damn weapon with you that you've grinded so hard for and throw away a base level item to bring it to this level that you needed a weapon that you were familiar with. I love a lot of my handguns. Like Ace of Spades is my go-to handgun outside of the revolver. Like I can't remember what it was called. It's been that long since I played. But I stick to handguns in Destiny, and now most of the guns that I have that I've used to and have finger memory are useless because I can't even take them anywhere because they're not the base damage that I need for any events that I want to play.
Yeah.
So what does that tell me? Like I've grinded so much for these weapons. I'm not gonna go into a new area to use something that I'm not familiar with to feel like I myself am nerfed. You know, I'm not doing that.
So you agree?
Yeah.
With all these angry people on the subreddit about
Yeah, I don't play Destiny that I had to revert back to Call of Duty. That's how bad that is.
If you go into this article and then go to the subreddit, they make a lot of points about this, and they also talk about like there's a list of like known, content creators and influencers and stuff, like just, YouTube and Twitch personalities who are primarily Destiny streamers who are all complaining about this same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, in the year 2021, like these people actually have a voice. So like, if they're telling their hundreds or thousands of followers to stop playing Destiny, they probably will.
Right.
Like this is something that Bungie needs to like seriously look at.
Yeah.
But whatever.
It is what it is. I mean, it's a free to play game. They got to make money somehow, but
yeah.
I don't know if their numbers are their user base numbers or their gameplay information is telling them something different. Mm-hmm. But I just don't see them. If anything, this whole plan of sunsetting is just going to weed out the casual players with the dwindling number of hardcore players. And I just don't see how they're looking towards expanding a user base if it already takes a grind just to get guns that are worth a damn, while not alienated the ones that already did the grind and got the guns that are worth a damn to just tell them all of a sudden, hey, this is the exact same thing WoW did, and they're still running.
Yeah. Barely.
But it is what it is. I don't know. I love Destiny. I love the lore of it. I love the gunplay and everything, but I'm not going to grind something. I already have a job. I don't really need to do a job in a game. But we'll go from there.
Yep.
All right. So let's move on from Destiny because this is upsetting me. You know
what, Bungie?
Go yourself.
Table flip.
All right. Resident Evil Village. So this one, release date announced and demo dropped. I think it dropped yesterday, wasn't it? Or
Thursday, actually.
Thursday. Wow.
Thursday evening is when the demo dropped.
Man.
Whoa, Mel's going crazy.
Oh no, not right now.
Whoa, calm down. It's just Resident Evil.
Johnny.
It's just Resident Evil. It's okay. Resident Evil Village is so scary. It is so scary that her VTube just went crazy.
I mean, it's not that scary.
I mean, look at me, I'm Joe.
I mean, it's kind of attractive too, but
we don't even know. The demo gives a name that we think it might be this lady, but right now the internet is just branding her super tall, hot vampire lady. So it's like, I'm okay with this because hello,
lady.
Well, in the demo, they say it is not the main character. It's an entirely different character that was named Maiden.
So this, if you look at, so let's just go through the whole thing real quick. So Capcom did their Resident Evil showcase on Thursday afternoon. Mm-hmm. And with that, they showed off a new trailer for Resident Evil Village. They showed off a little bit of gameplay. They showed off the multiplayer mode. We're going to get to that in a second. They showed off the new, a few months ago, we talked about the new CG movie that's coming out. They showed off a little bit about that. They're doing a crossover with the Division 2 to put some character skins in there, like nobody cares. And then they and then they said, oh, hey, there's a demo now. The demo, it is a PS5 exclusive. So the 1% of people out there who have a PS5 can now play it. Like, GG Capcom.
Cool.
But Elle just left. She's pissed off. There she goes.
I'm glitching.
So the game is going to be released on May the 7th. We now have a release date, May 7th. It is going to be on. It's also going to be on last gen consoles. So we're looking at PS4, Xbox One, and
we did talk about that.
That's an interesting decision. I think anybody who's currently looking at releasing last gen console games needs to seriously look at Cyberpunk and just as an example. Now, granted, Resident Evil Village has probably been in development for 4 years now, so it's not like they're just going to throw all those plans away. Maybe Capcom did a good job. Resident Evil 7 worked just fine on the PS4 and the Xbox One. It was on VR on the PlayStation 4.
You're also talking about a game that is on rails versus something that is more open world, right?
I wouldn't say Resident Evil's on rails. It's just tighter environments.
Binary playthrough.
Let's say it's pretty linear.
Right.
Yes.
But you're not talking about crazy walking around AI everywhere with scripted events.
Yeah. It's
we'll see.
I mean, it's like I said, it's more compact environments. It's not a giant city by any means. But it's still, I mean, I wouldn't say it's on rails, but yeah, it's but if you do have a PS5, the demo, it's called Maiden, just came out. And now we can get on that. So Maiden, the demo, I'm assuming they're going to be pulling it. Hello, lady. I'm assuming they're going to be pulling the demos from Resident Evil 7. If you ever played those, they released I think it was 2 or 3 versions of that demo.
Hey, Yogencha.
What's up, Yogencha?
And they, this demo that just came out, they said this one's on the PS5, it's exclusive, but then later, we don't know when, they're going to be releasing a demo for everyone. And so this could just be version 1 of this demo, where then if they do the same thing they did with 7, they're going to just add on to it. They'll release version 2 of the demo, and it'll take the existing demo and make it bigger and add more features to it. Right. 7 did that, and then it also transferred items. If you completed it correctly, you could unlock items in the full game.
Right.
And it was okay, that's a good idea. I've seen the demo. It's pretty.
You still won't play it by yourself, huh?
So I downloaded it, and I'll play it. It's really not that long, which is cool.
I believe the PC demo is going to come out later in the spring. Is what I believe they said. Yeah.
They basically said this demo is the PS5 exclusive, and then everybody else will be getting the demo at a later date.
Which is what they did for Resident Evil 7. So
was that a console exclusive?
It was in the beginning, yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, so it's more first-person spooky stuff with super tall hot vampire girl.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Digital Foundry did a video on the whole thing already.
I saw they posted one on that. I haven't watched it yet because I wanted to see the demo myself before I saw that. But it's pretty cool. Like I said, I have it downloaded. I can stream it later if you want. It's as long as the sun's out.
You will not play in the dark.
Oh man!
As long as it's nice and bright outside, then I can go through this.
What's the scariest Resident Evil you ever played through, Clay? Or
played through?
Or better yet,
or
here's
played.
Let me simplify.
I've only beat one Resident Evil game ever, and it was 5, and it was with a co-op session.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
okay, which one that you have played is the scariest?
I will say I gave up on 4 faster than I gave up on 1. So I gave up on both of them because they were both way too scary for me. But I got farther in 1 than I did in 4. 4 was just oh God, I can't do this. Yeah.
All right. Well, at least you played them, right?
I think I've played almost all of them for like seconds at a time. Yeah. But yeah,
Nope, I'm done.
yeah, it's just like, yeah. Oh, I remember I was at Horchops' house.
Mhm.
He was going through the one remake, like the HD remake that came out. It was like a freebie on PlayStation Plus, so he wanted to go through that. And when he was starting that game, he was like, like I've always wanted to go through Resident Evil, and I'm like, dude, I'm down. I love watching Resident Evil games. Let's do that. And he goes, similar to other games, we'll kind of pass the controller back and forth. I was like, just so you know, I cannot help you with this game. Like, at no point can you pass me the remote. Like, that's not going to happen. And he was like, why not? And I'm like, just it won't. Okay.
Do you accept these terms or not?
Exactly. I need you to sign right here. Okay.
Sign in blood.
But yeah, so along with this, like I said, they also showed off the multiplayer mode, and that's on a different link on there, Joe.
Yeah.
It's this one is called, which it's spelled out like reverse, but when they said it in the video, it was RE-verse. So I don't know why, but they took Resident Evil
cool.
and made it a deathmatch shooter. I don't.
And it doesn't look like
I'm like
they
watching
changed
the video right
controls
here, and I'm
very
just
well
like,
to adapt
I
to
don't-
that kind of shooter.
I don't get it. Like, I don't know why they would do this. Like, maybe it's fun. I don't know. But like, why would you take a horror series and make it a deathmatch shooter? So Yogensha has a very valid, and I'm going to tangent off on this one too. Why not just make Mercenaries again? Mercenaries was awesome. That was it was like, that was a great little side thing to do, Mercenaries mode. Why not do that again? Or take Resistance, which was the multiplayer version that they came out, or the mode that they came out with, the RE3 remake, and throw that away, but take the same kind of 4-player co-op thing, bring back Outbreak.
Ooh,
Like
yes.
Outbreak 1 and 2, those games were awesome. What if you took 1 and 2, put them together so you had more levels, and just made it a 4-player horror co-op experience? Not a shooter. Make it survival horror. Make it like limited ammo, weak weapons, all that stuff. Like you have to use a broomstick to fight off a zombie or something like that. Do that. Deathmatch? Like it doesn't fit. Like it doesn't fit with Resident Evil. And it's like
the controls again. I know they're not showing any UI here, but if you look at the controls, it's basically you're playing Resident Evil, but those controls don't match for quick play like that.
Also, think about Resident Evil as a shooter in general. It never works.
No.
Like Resident Evil 6 was a shooter and it was bad. And then you have like the Operation Raccoon City, and then there was the 2 Wii games, Umbrella Chronicles, and then there was another shooter as well. It was Operation Raccoon City. I thought you played it, Mel. What was it?
I played the other one.
Operation Raccoon City?
Yeah, I played that with you.
Yeah, I played that. That was terrible. Oh, Umbrella Corps. There we go. Yeah, like Umbrella Corps was another multiplayer shooter game, and it's like every time Resident Evil tries to do shooter, it's bad. Like, just don't do this. Like, give us Outbreak. Give us if you want a multiplayer experience, give us Outbreak. Give us a 4-player horror type system, like stressful resource management, all that stuff. But this is, to me personally, this is just the wrong way to go. Now, I will add on to all this. There is a beta test for this coming up next week. It starts on, I want to say, Thursday. If you go to the website for Reverse, there's a link. You can apply for it. Go for it. I'm already in it. I'm going to check it out. I've already got the client installed on my Xbox. I'm just waiting for it to go live. I don't have high hopes. I just, to me, I don't know.
Even
it
the
just doesn't make
trailer
sense.
looks like it was done last minute.
It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why this would even exist.
Why would you show gameplay of everyone missing their shots?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just seems like someone like made a mod of RE2.
Yeah.
And just made it into a shooter. That's what it just seems like to me.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
The most polished things on this trailer are the actual like 2D freaking mentions of what the title looks like. That's
Resistance, the asymmetrical multiplayer mode from 3 makes sense to me. Like it's a 4-player co-op, and then you have like the evil mastermind who can set traps and do all that stuff. That fits more with Resident Evil than this does. Like to me, this is just I don't.
But then
like,
again,
I don't know what
they might not be targeting a demographic that is necessarily U.S. based. Maybe.
I don't think Japanese gamers are gonna like this either.
I mean, maybe you have a very dedicated Biohazard fan base over in different regions of the world.
Oh no, that's the thing. Resident Evil and Biohazard have a huge fan base across the world, worldwide. Yeah. Everybody, it's like this is a colossal fan base. Nobody liked Resistance. Nobody liked any of the other shooters. It's like it's like somebody just had this idea and said, "Hey, why don't we do a co-op or a multiplayer shooter thing?" And Capcom guy was like, "Whatever."
Yogensha says they made this last minute to have a multiplayer thing, like all the games forced themselves to have in 2006 to 2012.
Yeah.
But yet we're continuously being reminded how great single player games are when they're just dedicated and focused to developing a single player game.
Resident Evil 2 Remake didn't have a multiplayer mode. It had the time trials and, like the hunk mode and everything like that.
Right.
Because the original had that. And it was great. Resident Evil 2 Remake was a great game. Resident Evil 3 Remake, if they had thrown away the multiplayer on that, like the Project Resistance, or made it its own little cheaper spin-off game or something like that, it's like Resident Evil 3 Remake didn't need it. It didn't need a multiplayer mode. Nobody wanted it. Nobody needed it. The game's not even that good. So it's like it wasn't required. Single-player games are still strong. You don't have to shoehorn a multiplayer mode into it just because.
Right.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on with our last one. This one's for Xbox Live price. I don't know if anybody's going to take their pitchforks and torches out.
Well,
but
they don't need to anymore.
Calm down. Calm down.
Calm down, everyone. Take it easy.
So Xbox Live Gold. So they announced, or there was some sort of.
So if
rumor.
You scroll down on this article, it has the original article under the bold print there.
Yeah, I see it. We messed up today. Damn.
So the original print there was basically like, hey, Xbox Live's been around for 18 years and we've never done a price increase, so we're going to do that. And it wasn't...
That's a really crappy way of starting it out, too. It's like, hey, you enjoyed Xbox Live so long for 18 years at the same price.
Yeah.
We're going to bump it up a little bit.
Yeah, like... companies do that, right? Like PlayStation Plus used to be $40, right? And it's like, it's and now it's 60. It's like things increase over time. Arby's used to be 5 for 5 roast beef sandwiches. Okay, it's like it's called inflation. Mm-hmm. It's called inflation. That's that's what happens. But for 18 years, Xbox Live like stuck, and then now they're saying, and now we're going to increase the price. Not only did they increase the price, they doubled it. It was like they, instead of a year of Xbox Live for $60, it's now 6 months for $60. So it's like, wait a minute, you're going to double the price of this thing just out of the like Amazon Prime crept up a little bit before it jumped to $120.
Yep.
It's I don't know.
Netflix
to me, it was
has
just
been doing like $2, $3.
Yeah.
Netflix goes up all the time. Disney Plus just went up like $1.
But you know what the difference between Netflix, which is why I don't feel bad every single time they do a bump? I'm getting some quality content here now. And it's just like their originals are so good.
And so, but that's the thing here. So Xbox Live, what do you get with that? You get multiplayer gaming.
Screaming teens.
Racism. All the racism, homophobia, and
sexism,
your mom jokes, like all you want. So you get multiplayer gaming. You really want to play Warzone with your buddies, you got to have Xbox Live Gold. You get cloud storage for your save files, which is actually pretty awesome. And then you get their 3 free games a month, which cool. That's great. You know, like PlayStation Plus does the same thing. But I get, what did he say? I get to play online games online. Yeah. That's what you get with Xbox Live Gold. And it's like, is those things, online gaming, is it worth $10 a month to be able to play an online game? That's kind of what you have to ask yourself here.
Well,
is it like,
I think at the early stages of technology and multiplayer gaming,
yeah,
we got spoiled. We got spoiled super hard because a lot of the multiplayer gaming was peer-to-peer, right? So why charge something that is just a tunnel? You had like things like Heat.net and Spy, GameSpy.
GameSpy Arcade and all that,
Right, but they weren't charging anything unless you wanted some specific like ability,
like perk
to create
or something.
Things. Yeah. But now it's gotten to the point where things are being hosted on cloud servers, and that stuff costs $1. You know,
it does. I totally understand all that. Azure's expensive. You know, yeah, Azure's very expensive. I totally get that. It's just $120 a month just for Xbox Live Gold is kind of crazy. Like that's a little high. Yogecha has a point here. They tried this to force everyone to pay $5 more and just get Game Pass Ultimate. That would be my recommendation. If Xbox Live Gold does end up going up to 120, which the side thing on this, they already rolled it back, but we're going to get to that in a second. If you're paying for Xbox Live Gold anyway, just get Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's a few bucks more a month, and you're getting, instead of 3 free games a month, you have hundreds. It's Game Pass is worth every penny.
Do you think the adoption of Game Pass with the inclusion of Xbox Live has caused a surge in cost for their cloud services to not be able to handle certain things? Like, we see a trend that a lot of people are starting to get Xbox Live Gold, especially Windows users are now able to get the Game Pass stuff, that we didn't anticipate for this level of growth now. And so like Netflix,
maybe
like, we need to create more original content with crazy awesome stars, which if you watched any of the latest trailers for Netflix, it is kind of amazing seeing some of the actors that are doing now Netflix only movies. Yeah. That for them to justify it, to keep it up and running and keep it at the quality that you're currently getting now, they need to bump up the price. But at the same time, it's like, you got exactly what you want. You got your player base still using Xbox Live. You just need to keep up.
Yeah. And that could be it. But yeah, it's shockingly, when Microsoft announced they were going to double the price of Xbox Live, shockingly, the internet did not handle it so well. I know that's
double
crazy,
though, right? This is double the price of what you're getting.
Yeah.
Of what you're paying for.
Yeah. So they were going to double the price, and then last night rolled it back. It was all over like the Xbox Twitter accounts. If you go to this article here on Xbox Wire, big bold at the top, we hear you. Our bad. We're not going to do this. So that's good.
I sometimes feel like that's a lure, though. That's like a fishing line thrown out there just to see what the reaction's going to be. And then later on, it's like, look, we heard you loud and clear. But for us to be able to continue to give you the service and the quality that you expect, $10 extra. We still got to bump it up.
Something like, which this would have gone, I get that. But I mean, start out like baby steps, guys. Like work with us here. $10 a year, from 60 to 70. Like, that's under $1 a month. Like, just baby steps us up the line here. Don't just
game price game right there. So
don't just make us grab our ankles, okay?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Like, I mean, come on. Treat us to dinner first. You know what I'm saying?
A little petting,
a little wine and dine, come on.
I like cheese.
You know what I'm saying? Little strawberries and champagne.
Oh man.
But yeah, like,
you're gonna get the box though,
moving
right?
on.
I mean, the box wine, obviously. I mean, come on.
Gotta go for the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Best
it's
hangover in the morning.
oh, cheap wine. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's they rolled it back, which is really good. I don't think this is going to be the end of the story. I think they're going to like wait a month or two for it to cool down, and then now say it's going to be 70 for a year. You know, just to say like we do have to increase the price.
Right.
Okay, if it happens, it happens. Whatever.
I would think that them just throwing this out there. How did it even come to be that they realized, or that somebody realized that they were going to do it? They announced it.
They announced it, yeah. So they announced it, and they basically started sending emails to like Xbox Live members and like Game Pass subscribers, and then they put it on their Twitter about like, hey, we're changing our pricing model. Go here to news.xbox.com to check it out. And then people
I also wonder like what the
pitchforked and revolted.
What the percentage of this decision was based off of the coronavirus situation right now, where everybody just jumped online, right?
It could have been in like just utilization of Azure, you know, like it's just like their utilization like quadrupled because of this. Could be.
Scott,
I mean, who
Scotty
knows?
from Star Trek, they're like, we got to handle it, Captain.
Dude, have the power. But yeah, it's, I mean, good that they rolled it back, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are going to do some kind of price increase over the next few months.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, with
but
that
I'm already
being
Game
said,
Pass for like 3 years anyway, so it's all good. I'm
did you
I'm
do
like
that
locked
whole
in.
$1 to 3-year Game
Oh
Pass thing?
yeah, oh yeah. Like a year
Maybe
ago when
that's
that
why
happened.
they're trying to recoup some of the money, dude.
Yeah, which they are not hiding any of this. It's like they are telling you you can totally take advantage of this. Like if you go out and buy 3 years of Xbox Live Gold cards and redeem those, and then just pay $1, you now have Game Pass Ultimate.
But
for
then
3
now
years.
you know why, because like the targeted value of every single user that has done that. Now they can calculate it into their yearly income, their yearly revenue. But
I know.
It's crazy, man.
And it's awesome.
Well, this has been the 15th podcast episode. So Clay, Mel, you guys
15th.
got anything to say? It's the 15th. You know what that means.
I'm prepared for this.
What do I have to say? Look,
Yeah.
Joe,
Hmm.
I may or may not agree and or disagree with some of the things you said during this podcast show thing. How can I tell you during the off hours?
You can visit me on nerdjunkies.com and also join our Discord group, so that way you can watch me block you. Yes. Anyways,
How can I debate the merits of the reverse multiplayer mode? How can I get a hold of you in a gaming forum message board type system?
You can visit us at nerdjunkies.com/Discord, and it'll send you right through our Discord channel.
Wait a minute. I'm not paying for access to Discord to chat with you guys.
It's completely free and available 24/7.
Indeed.
You like how I'm like setting you up for all of this?
Sure am. This is literally on rails promoting.
Yeah, this is like, but wait a minute. If
Decision
it's free, if it's a free service and I can, chat with you guys anytime I want,
Anytime.
what are the downsides?
There are none. You just need an internet connection.
But wait a minute, Joe. Hold on. I'm not always at my computer like you nerds are, okay? I have a life.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Well, you can download an app and log in there and talk to us there.
What?
Yeah. It's amazing. Technology.
I'm just trying to think of like,
campy crap.
what else can I put in here? And be like, so you're
pretty much
saying
it. We got a website.
it's free?
and It's completely
I can
free.
talk to you guys whenever I want,
Yep.
and I can do it from my mobile phone.
Yep. All from the comfort of your home and my wallet for boosting the Discord server. Enjoy.
And I can make you pay for it?
Indeed. You can stick it to the man.
I'll show him.
Get some of these custom emojis on here. He'll have to pay for more spots.
Yes.
Stick it to him.
Suck it, Joe.
Oh no, they just did another expected pull of my PayPal account. Damn it. All right, let's get out of here. Mel, what do you got?
I'm a natural salesman, clearly.
I guess I'm just going to be basically generic. Everybody always be safe out there. We are still in the pandemic. Wear your mask. And
You
just...
can't tell me what to do.
You can't take my rights.
Here we go. Here we go.
Took my job.
But be good to each other, everybody. Like always, just if you guys want to talk to us, come on Discord
This,
and everything.
everybody, be,
Oh my God.
be excellent to each other. No, shut up. Talk about games. All right.
Fine. I was trying to be nice.
No one's gonna listen to you till you play a game this week. Okay, there you go.
I was trying to find something to play.
Oh, I'm watching anime and I'm not playing games right now. Yeah, get out of here with that.
We're just going to have to find out a way to get Clay to be able to play Phasmophobia.
Okay, you write phasmophobia.com.net.biz.org and you tell them to put it on a console and then I'll play it.
All right. Ben says, I know of a way. Oh, yeah. Isn't there like some cloud gaming services that are out there that could possibly work out for Clay so that way he can do it from his device? Might be able to work something out. Yeah.
He could just be the bitch in the truck watching the cams. Is there, which I totally would be that guy.
Yeah, you would. And then the ghost just comes up behind him.
That game's not streaming on anything, is it? Like it's not on Luna or Twitch or anything? Or not Twitch, but like
can do it
Stadia
off
or Luna or
Steam.
anything like that?
I don't think Stadia.
You can't stream off of
You can stream off of Steam.
Yeah, true.
You're basically using somebody else's computer to render the game, and you're playing off of their Steam Cloud stuff. Kind of like how PS4 had that like share play or whatever they had.
Yeah.
Remote play, I believe
Well,
it's called.
share play is where like it's like
It's like Nvidia's Shield experience or
So-
Nvidia's experience where you get to have like a beefy computer, but it's being rendered onto your like mobile device.
so and just hypothetically, so Phasmophobia is running on your computer because you have the big beefy computer.
I mean, thanks, but yeah. I would.
Yes, I do.
I mean, yeah.
Just brush off his shoulder there.
How would I be able to stream play that? Like, is that 2 licenses, or do somehow I stream it on my laptop, but it's running on your computer?
Well, I have a second gaming computer. Like all my kids' computers can run Phasmophobia, no problem. So
Okay.
So you just basically be able to connect to those and just play.
Oh, so I'm doing like a remote session.
That's it.
We shall see. Or they can just put it on console like real people do.
Real people. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's get out of here. Everyone, thanks for joining us. Virtual machine. Yeah. Antivirus has one. I do have a couple of instances that I could probably put up, but yeah. Yeah, I'm in for Phasmophobia. We
You all
talked
just
about
need
it
to play
last
anyway. Like,
What's
you
that?
all just need to get a game going so I can watch it anyway.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know the game very well, so I feel like anything I do that causes an issue with the game is going to scare me even more. Because
Isn't
I don't know
that
what I'm feeling.
Isn't that why we want
I
to watch
agreed.
them?
I will play with you guys. Okay?
Yeah. So we've got you, we got antivirus.
How
We
many
got-
players?
Ben can be in there.
It's 4.
So that's 4. There you go.
4 in total.
All right, so we're gonna schedule this right now. What time? I mean, it is
Everybody
Saturday.
jump on the Discord and start scheduling this so you guys can play it tonight.
Get on the Discord and we'll talk
Oh,
about it
tonight.
over on the Nerd Junkies channel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because I have to go out of town here for a second, for like about 2 hours, 3 hours here, and then I'll be back tonight. So if you guys want to play tonight in the dark,
This
I'm
is,
up
you
for
know what? Antivirus has a very valid point here in the chat.
Oh no.
You need the chops because you have to have a wild card. Wild card. Yeah, you need like Horchops would be really good to have in that just because he'll find a way to break the game somehow.
all right. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on the Discord. Let's get out of here. I'll post this up. I'll post the clips up for this episode later on today, and then we'll go from there. See you later,
Great.
everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for showing up. Catch you next week.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Hee. Hee.